Welcome back, guitar learners. This is video lesson number 2 on playing some lead electric guitar parts. So a lot of it does fit in with some rhythm electric as well, but it's just a way to hopefully change up some of the shapes that you might play. If you're coming over from acoustic, we're not going to be playing all of these open chords. We're going to be playing some other shapes. And that is how I truly learned to play these different parts, these inverted chords. I just learned them by shapes. So in this video, we're going to focus on some A-shape chords, and we're going to look at major chords and some of the minor chords to hopefully help you get started as you're practicing. So in a lot of my playthrough videos and in my tutorials, you're not going to see me playing a lot of those bar chords or power chords that you saw in video lesson number 1. That can get you through a lot of big songs, but what about some of the quieter parts? So that's where the A shape and the D shape chords come in. So A shape, what does that mean? Well, that's the A chord that you would normally play in the open position. But if you bar that with your index finger, that's how I usually play it, you can move that around. Those 3 notes, those 3 strings, your B string, G string, and D string, right? If you just keep pressing those down and start moving around the fretboard, if you're right here, that's an A sharp or a B flat. Up here, you're at a B. Up here, you're at a C, right? D, E, F, and a G if you're wanting to go up that high. So if you're playing those clean or with some reverb and delay, it's going to sound really nice and really pretty ambient. So all of those are going to be major chords. So if I want to play a C, up to a D, so yeah, those sound really great together. So yeah, those move around really nicely. You can also play an adjusted version of that if you're just looking for maybe a couple notes in there. For that, I use my middle finger and my ring finger, and I jump over the 3rd string. So I jump over the G string and just play on the B and the D string. So here's an A. So with just those 2 strings, you can pick them rhythmically, you can pick them in the high to low order or low to high order. If I were, playing like a C, a D, and a G, I'd be here on my 5th fret with just those 2 strings for the C. And sure, that can sound really nice, or you can pluck them. You don't even have to pick them. So it could certainly sound something like that too. But what about minors, right? So are there any minors that can be found in there? The answer to that is yes, because of, well, the A shape, right? To make an A minor, you just drop that index finger instead, right? Because it flattens out your 3rd note in the chord. And so, yeah, you could play that minor shape then anywhere up the fretboard as well. So yeah, here's your B minor. If you're looking for an E minor, it'll be all the way up here. So can we put that together? C, D, E minor, and then G. So how might that look? Well, if you're playing just the 2 strings, so that can definitely sound really nice together. So you can experiment with playing that shape in different ways. If you want to play it in the same hand position, you're gonna wanna make sure that you mute that high E string by kind of flattening out your index finger to make sure that that does not ring out. So those are some ideas or some options on how to play that. And it can sound really nice in quiet parts of the song. So if you kick on some overdrive or distortion, right? That can also sound really, really great. And so you'll see me playing a lot of those shapes, the A shape, in many of my videos, many of my playthroughs. So yep, I'm gonna hit a C right there most of the time. A D is gonna hit right there most of the time. And then you might be wondering, well, how do I switch from doing that to then like making the minor shape, right? Because I jumped over the E minor there. Well, I do an alternate minor flavor. So instead of using the A minor shape, I end up using, well, the rest of the shape as if it were a barred chord. So this inversion uses the E, the B, and the G string. So where I would normally have my E, right, starting here on the 9th fret, that's where my ring finger goes on the 9th fret, middle finger on the B string on the 8th fret, index finger on the high E string on the 7th fret. And that's also my E minor. So I'm definitely utilizing the fretboard markers, trying to keep track of where I am and remembering or memorizing, like here's my C, right? Here was my bar chord C, right? Because the C root note on the A string was here, but here was the other root note, the other C just an octave higher, was on that 5th fret. So there's my C, my D, and my E minor. So you can practice with some of those major chords and then also try out the different flavors or the different styles or different inversions of the minor chords, because those also move all the way right up and down the neck. There's my E minor, but if I go 2 frets lower, that's my D minor, right? C sharp minor, B minor, right? That's where your normal B minor bar would be, but instead of playing all of those strings and kind of making it too thick of a sound or running into the acoustic guitar, just play those high 3. So those are some inversions that I enjoy playing that can work for clean and also for overdrive situations. And in the next video, we'll take a look at the other shape of chords that I use a ton, as well as more major and minor options there too. So try those out, explore those. Good luck out there, and I'll see you in the next video.